It's one of the biggest talking points in WWE recent memory. The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, is back. And this is now the third video I have made talking about this because we've looked at my initial thoughts on him returning. We've talked about why he attacked Finn Balor. And now we're going to talk about what's next for The Fiend. We're going to look to the future. We're going to talk about what we should expect from Bray Wyatt. Now, as I mentioned, we have spoken detail about why Bray Wyatt attacked Finn Balor on Raw. So if you haven't, go check out that video. Really cool little facts there about Finn taking time off, things like that. If you are new to the channel, it would be appreciated if you hit that subscribe button. And as always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know what you agree with, what you disagree with. Or if I haven't covered something that you're thinking about, again, let me know. Because I love the fact you guys are so passionate and dedicated to watching these videos and leaving your thoughts below. I try and reply to as many people as possible. It gets hectic some days, but I really do try because I love your theories. Now, unless you're under a rock and you didn't hear me at the start of the video, Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, returned on Raw. He attacked Finn Balor, lights flickered, and it was done. Now, a lot of people in the comments of the last two videos have mentioned Bray Wyatt. Could we see Bray Wyatt as not the Fiend? Now, I would love to see that. I mean, with two brands as Raw and SmackDown, there's no reason why the Fiend couldn't be on Raw and Fun House Bray be on SmackDown. But I don't think it's too likely. The main reason being is Bray Wyatt was overcome with the Fiend. Very simply, on the last episode of the Firefly Fun House, we watched the transformation. And since that moment, we haven't seen or heard anything from Bray. So right now, we are literally going on like a 1 minute in-ring segment from Raw because that's all we've seen since he left the Funhouse. But as he debuted as the Fiend, does that mean he can transform back to the original Bray? Or is now the Fiend him? Has the Fiend completely consumed his mind and completely taken over Bray Wyatt? Meaning that the initial Bray Wyatt we saw is gone. Bray multiple times said in the Funhouse he didn't want to be evil again. But as the episodes went on, we kept seeing things like flashes of evil and things were coming until the end, the conclusion where the Fiend took over. Does that mean that Bray Wyatt, pretty much as we knew him, no longer exists and that this is what we now get? Now, of course, for the last few weeks as well, we've been watching puppets backstage. We have made countless videos on Puppet Watch, watching every time a puppet appears behind a superstar, trying to work out if there's a clue or a hint. And even now, nope, there still isn't a hint or a clue. But does it have to stop? I hope not. I really hope not. The Fiend should be using these puppets as eyes. That he should be watching everything. And every now and again, not every week, just every now and again, boom, there's Mercy the Buzzard. There's Abby the Witch. And at one big time, there's Devil Vince. You don't have to do it often. We still haven't seen the Vince McMahon puppet yet. So when we do, it has to be special. Otherwise, what was the point in not showing him for weeks and weeks and weeks? I would really like to see something continue with these. There's a lot of theories. We come up with the harm one. We came up with the fact that the puppets were stalking certain superstars, like Ramblin' Rabbit only stalked women. So is he recruiting a woman for Bray Wyatt? We literally have no answers yet, and it's so frustrating because I really, really want to know, and I'm sure you guys do too. But I don't want the puppets to stop. I want them to continue. Now, when you see this image of the Fiend, instantly it's recognizable. Instantly it's a cult classic. Instantly you want to buy its merch. Well, WWE's got you covered because literally as Raw finished, they released a brand new t-shirt. Yowie wowie. And it's pretty basic, but I can tell you from what I've seen on Twitter, people are buying it. People are really into the Fiend. It's got obviously the Fiend's like face on it and 2 hands either side doing jazz hands. Could you imagine if the Fiend does jazz hands as a taunt? Oh my god, that would be so funny. But anyway, like, this is completely, like, there is no roof to this merch they could do. They could release replica masks. They could release replica side plates, obviously. They do that for every superstar nowadays. They could release Mattel wrestling figures, Funko Pop vinyls. They could release everything. Just everything. They could do Firefly Fun House playsets. Everything you can imagine. There is no limit with this Fiend character. Now, when we talk about a stable, which is another theory we come up with, does this rule out the fact there's going to be a stable? No, I don't think it does. I think the fact that Bray's hit first on Finn Balor makes perfect sense. If he's still doing things backstage with Shelton Benjamin or Cesaro, it makes sense that this stable could still happen. The superstars that would be part of it are very questionable, and my best guess would be those 4 men on screen, because I think that just makes a lot of sense. Luke Harper wasn't released from his contract for a reason. It wasn't just because WWE want to keep him around to stop him going to AEW. It's because they probably planned something for him. Cesaro really needs something to get him some momentum again. Aleister Black would be a perfect fit, and Shelton Benjamin would just be the athleticism of the team without a shadow of a doubt. He is, they say it all the time on WWE, he's the purest athlete in WWE, and he's overlooked every single time. And it would be really cool to get him this push, to get him a little bit of momentum. And I hope a stable's the way it's going, because a faction in wrestling is proven. It's proven to work. And this would be kind of cool. Like, they got to do it right, though. Maybe give them all masks or something. But it could just be that Bray's only recruiting one man, a henchman. Maybe it is just Shelton Benjamin. Maybe he's going to use Shelton Benjamin for his own uses and then scrap him when he's done with him. Like, he could completely brainwash him, completely have him do his bidding, completely do everything he says. Yet again, have a mask. The person who created the masks told us there is more to come. Maybe Shelton Benjamin's going to get a mask. That would be fine for me. I'd be more than happy with that. Again, it's something else that's marketable. It's something else for us to get our teeth into and think, what is going on here? And then when Bray Wyatt's had enough, maybe he takes that mask away. And maybe Shelton Benjamin's power and just disappears. That would be kind of epic, that these masks could carry some kind of power that the Fiend can give to people and then take away again. Now, of course, after Finn Balor, there has to be other rivals. And I'm pretty up for these 3 men. We all know that Finn Balor's obviously taken time off after SummerSlam, so I'm assuming that this is going to be a rivalry that lasts until SummerSlam. So after SummerSlam, there needs to be set opponents. Bray should not be wrestling No Way Jose on Raw. It shouldn't happen. He should have a reason to wrestle. Now, Randy Orton, we all know the story. He burnt down the Wyatt family compound. That makes so much sense. Matt Hardy, well, he threw Bray Wyatt into the lake of reincarnation. We all know that the Fiend and Bray do hurt and heal. Why couldn't Bray heal Matt Hardy? He could hurt Orton, but why not heal Matt? To be thankful for Matt, to try and help Matt find his path again. And then, of course, The Undertaker. I really want Bray Wyatt to be the man to retire the Phenom. I think you're always going to have Bray compared to The Undertaker. You're always going to have that character similarity. So, what better way to introduce the Fiend than have him be the man to lay The Undertaker to rest? I mean, there is endless possibilities on the roster. You got Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Brock Lesnar, and I'm sure a lot of you will want some of those people. But this is my personal 3 that I wouldn't mind Bray attacking after Finn Balor. Now, of course, the Firefly Fun House is where this whole thing began. It was a whirlwind of emotion and questions and confusion and mental anguish for us fans. And it shouldn't stop. We know that they haven't recorded any more yet that we know of. But it would be cool. After the whole Finn Balor thing, maybe Bray revisits the Funhouse. Or maybe in like 3 months' time, the Fiend takes his first loss. And then he goes back to the Funhouse, regroups, spends like 2 or 3 weeks in there, cutting those promos again. And then comes back bigger, badder, better, and takes out the person who defeated him. It would just make sense and continue this story that maybe Bray goes away and changes his mindset a bit, changes the game, comes back, and everything's different. He's a bigger, badder, better superstar each and every time. And it means as well the possibilities with Bray and the Fiend are completely unlimited. Because you don't have to do a whole like segment where he just rode off TV for a couple of weeks or anything like that. He just appears, cuts his couple of promos every week, and then boom, he's back again. And each time you're going to get the reaction. Each time you're going to get the pop. And that's exactly what WWE needs in a character like The Fiend. Now, I do think it is important to stress that all of this is speculation. We've got no idea yet. I just hope WWE doesn't ruin this. Bray and The Fiend should definitely not be wrestling on Raw and SmackDown. There should be a reason for every single time he wrestles. Every single time. He shouldn't really chase championships too much. Because what does he need them for? He's the Fiend. He's the devil. So, I don't know. It makes a lot of sense to me. Hopefully some of this did to you as well. Again, as always, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, I will try and reply to every single person. It's tough sometimes, especially when it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, but it's not right now. It's quite a decent time of day. So, if you have any thoughts, let me know them in the comment section. Again, if you are new to the channel, it would be appreciated if you subscribed. Check out our other Funhouse videos on the channel. Like the video. And as always, I shall see you next time. Peace!